Well, the threat of an active shooter is always on the minds of law enforcement.
Yeah, but after a mass shooting, especially like the one we saw in Uvalde, Texas, certainly becomes top of mind. And Samantha Johnson is joining us now. And you actually recently took a trip to Muncie after officers there got to see them going through some of this intense training.
Yeah, and I actually first just saw the photos on social media, and it almost kind of takes your breath away because they seem so real. And especially for those officers going through it, it is real. And it's not just Muncie and University Police, it's also fire and EMS and other public safety agencies too, to ensure that if something like that were to ever happen in Delaware County, they're ready.
Inside the halls of Northside Middle School, this is the reality of police training.
We face this, maybe not an active shooter scene in a school, but we face the evil every day, the bad things that happen on a daily basis. So for us, it's a little bit more real.
Sergeant Anthony HURST is a certified instructor of active attack integrated response training. It's a nationwide program training officers for the worst.
If we can help get officers and EMS and first responders to experience that here, should that day ever come, hopefully they've already experienced it in some realm that they can kind of think about it.
Sergeant HURST says the training starts with a sit-down session to review response and communication plans.
And we even break it down as far as saying, as a law enforcement officer, chances are you're going to be the first one on scene. So once you get in and that threat's no longer there, now what can we do to start saving lives?
Then it's time to go inside with volunteer victims and blank bullets dropping off the smell of gunpowder.
We've also got dispatchers. With our dispatchers as well, we're giving them simulated calls. We're allowing them to take radio traffic as we're dealing with things that are happening. And we've also got people that are calling the dispatchers while they're trying to monitor our traffic as well, because we all know as soon as something happens, those phones are going to start going off.
Organizers describe this training as an emotion and adrenaline dump.
The training was good for a 30-year police veteran to an officer that hasn't even gone to the academy yet and is just really learning the basics of law enforcement.
It's a training program that organizers say you pray you never have to use.
Absolutely you do. I'm a father of a 5.5-year-old daughter who's getting ready to start kindergarten in August, and being on this side of it and understanding the realism and the viability of something like this definitely rests uneasy in the back of your mind.
Now, Chief Duckham tells me law enforcement agencies there in Delaware County, they practice this type of scenario all year long, but for this training specifically, about 100 people went through that program this year. And I also asked the chief, I said, at the end of the day, you guys are going to be trained, you're going to be prepared to do your job, but how do you feel to know that you have to just practice something like this? And his answer was simple. He said, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, and you can watch videos all day long, but the fact, I love that part about, they smell the gunpowder, so they know when they go into a situation, God forbid they have to do that, that the smell, the sights, they're used to it going in. And so it's, to be as real as possible so that you're effective in a real shooter situation.
And something else to mention, it's important to note they do a debrief session afterwards to go through and make sure everything's okay and what can we do better next time.
Lord, protect our kids.
Harsh
and our
reality
officers.
officers. Yes,
Same
thank you.
thing.